Nice.
Um, I don't know how to. I still haven't figured out how to actually get people to show the chat. So I guess we're just gonna have to just deal with that. Yeah. So what are we doing today, Gant? We are going to build
Yes.
ourselves a website, right?
Yeah. So we're gonna build a Gatsby site. We're gonna tie it in with some some people who might be unfamiliar with a little bit of machine learning stuff. Actually, what's the best way for me to send you links in the chat that we're using on Twitch?
You could, yeah, go ahead and do that because then they're
Okay.
archived.
All right. So the first one is I'm gonna send you an amazing blog post, which sort of will allow me to kind of jump on top of some really nice visuals to explain at a really high level the sort of mentality that we're planning on addressing,
Okay.
and sort of point out the differences as well. So
Go
don't forget.
away. What do you? Yeah.
Okay, so Adam here just released a book recently, and he has a book called I think it's like Machine Learning is Fun, the book.
Okay.
And he has this great set of 8 different online courses where it's just explaining different things in machine learning.
Okay.
And my first introduction into trying to identify not only as a newcomer, I was trying to figure out how to do facial recognition, and I found this blog post, and it's such a great blog post. And he has really impressive visuals as well. So I highly recommend we kind of use this stuff. So the first thing he does is like, how does Facebook know who you are, right? It's kind of weird. You bring somebody in, and it's like, is that this person? Do you want to tag them? So for he has his own situation where he's got 2 people who look alike. He doesn't have the Jason Kyle issue. Those 2 people, one of them I think is a drummer.
This is the drummer for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah.
There you go. And then of course Will Ferrell.
Of course.
So he's planning on going ahead and do this, and he's doing it all in Python. We're going to be doing JavaScript, and we'll be using some TensorFlow. Actually, we'll kind of make it even easier than that. But what I wanted to kind of show here is that at the high level of what's going on, there's some really cool stuff up at the top. So if you keep going, scrolling here, what he does first, is he mentions that we need to find faces, right? And that's exactly what we're going to do. Is we're also going to start off with just finding faces. So he kind of mentions like the algorithm in detail. So if you look at face recognition step by step, we can scroll through that. He's mentioned, yeah, your phone's really good at it. There's a really cool trick here where he shows the animated GIF of how this is working. It's going over the image, and then it's kind of convolving over the image in this small kind of patch
Okay.
to identify these edges. And so people hear about convolutional neural networks, or you might just hear about.
Oh yeah, I hear about those all the time. That's
Right, or it's
like
weird
that's
because
that's
you
the
hear
only
scanner.
thing my Twitter feed contains actually is convolutional neural networks. Okay,
It
so
might
let's
actually
assume
be.
that I've never heard that term before. What is it?
So it comes from this arcane math stuff, which a lot of the machine learning stuff likes to do. And then there are a few of us who just want to use machine learning to our fun and interesting perspectives of what we want to actually end up at the end of the day with. So it sticks with the name, but you'll be happy to hear it's gotten better. So kind of going over it, the threshold of the pixels to identify edges, and you can see that it's identifying the edges, and this helps it sort of like quickly identify where a face is.
Uh-huh.
And so as it kind of breads through it, you can see like here, now it's kind of easy for the machine to identify where a face would be.
Okay.
What we're going to use today is going to be called a single shot, an SSD neural network. And what's really cool is there's like this regional stuff that they came up with. But what happens is more and more interesting things have come out. And I wanted to use it for this, but I don't have it. There's one that somebody came up with called YOLO 9000. So as you can see, we've gone from convolutional neural network logic and regional neural networks and faster to single shot neural networks to now one of the best ones that have come out is the YOLO 9000.
The YOLO 9000. I
Yeah.
feel like I just have to see how they branded this.
Oh, it's like a paper. Here, let me send you the paper. It's not going to be as branded as you want it to be,
It's gonna be. I'm
but
gonna be
it's
disappointed.
hilarious to actually see it. So what I will do, I'm sure I have YOLO 9000 here. Actually, I have a link to it.
Okay.
Ready? Don't say I'm not ever prepared. Uh, and so I'll put that inside the message here. So yeah, there's the documentation of YOLO 9000. Because what the trick is, you don't just need to
Oh.
identify faces. You need to kind of like go through this information quickly. Yeah, better, faster, stronger.
This is good. This is good.
So I love where this stuff's been going. And here's the thing, right? Machine learning's notoriously been, and AI has notoriously been quite academic and
Sure.
snooty. And what we have here is a lot more fun and interesting stuff.
Definitely.
Um, so what he's doing here is he's grabbing the faces. He's actually causing an affine transform to sort of like normalize all the data and make sure the faces are all facing forward,
It's another word that
right?
I've definitely heard before this exact moment.
So transforms are going to be a fancy word for matrices that are applied that basically distort the space.
So it's
And
like
that makes
it's like in Photoshop when you like skew an image or try to like.
Control T or Command T.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, yep. What you're doing is you're just using transform tool. Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
And then what they did here, just to kind of go through it a bit, they tried to figure out. I love this GIF, or as you would say, GIF, because you're proper. Look at that.
Oh, it's so good.
So what's happening here is, yeah, this is real technology happening right now. When you click on an image, somebody automatically zooms in on them.
Yeah.
So there are these landmarks on the face, and what they decided to do is identify 128 identifiable landmarks on the face. And then once you have those facial landmarks, you can actually use the measurements between those different ones. And I'm going to say a Euclidean distance between faces. But what that basically means is like we're back to the Pythagorean theorem, which is just you have these different parts in the face. It's the distance between each of those points.
That's actually math that I have heard of before.
Yes, good old Pythagoras and the distance formula, right? And so you just have all these points and you're just gauging them from the distance formula of other parts of the faces. And so our faces, even though we can contort pieces of it.
This is my favorite part about machine learning, by the way, is like just the level of complete lack of understanding that we have about it. We're like, I don't know, we gave the computer some shit and then it started working and we're hoping that it's not evil.
Exactly. All right, computer, are you up to any bad or anything? And it's like, no, I'm doing fine. The launch codes are going splendid.
You're all completely safe.
Exactly.
Okay, so we use the measurements,
Yeah.
these numbers.
Yeah, you've got the faces, numbers,
Then we find their name from the encoding.
their distance. Yeah. So what happens is the average of the distances of the landmarks on my face to landmarks of your face, despite how much I try to make weird faces, I'm only going to alter those landmarks in a small degree over the entire course of my face.
Mm-hmm.
And the amount that would be actually be altered from our faces is significant.
Mm.
So this is they're still coming up with even better formulas, but this is such an easy one. It's so nice, and actually, funny enough, Vincent Mueller, who did the FaceAPIJS, he also did a bunch of Node stuff. He's also wrapped this all in super simple functions. So for us to actually take the Euclidean distance, we'll be doing zero math.
Awesome. I like that.
Even though it's simple stuff, it's really nice to have it all wrapped up. So in this blog post, he actually has the video where they're sitting next to each other, and with Python code, he's able to identify the encoding of the video that he was that which person was which out of those three people.
Oh, that's really cool. And it's got the
Yeah.
name. Yeah, that's really cool.
And if you want like live action video stuff, this is where like the efficiency of YOLO and SSDs kind of come from. Like we're trying to get that information at real time and fast, and the bounding boxes. Today we'll just be shooting for its web, and we'll be depending on the speed of your machine. It'll all be client side. You can actually be in your airplane, like dragging or using these images and then identifying who those people are.
Okay,
So
cool.
hopefully, if this is successful, we'll be able to tell the difference between.
Yeah, and so
between
so for actually, do you have this? You've got this somewhere on your Twitter, right?
got that. Oh yeah, I've got that tweet. Let me go ahead and actually give you that tweet. Although we'll probably want some individual images, and we'll kind of come back to this, of course. But
Yeah.
I'll put it inside of here. I'll put it inside the channel here.
And then
There you
to anybody watching this, you should definitely go and follow Gant because I think he just lost a race to 3,000. And
did. Please follow me. I decided to openly challenge somebody to 3,000. Good old Jamin Holmgren to the first person to 3,000 Twitter followers, and I marketed like a beast. I went through, I did all the things. Turns out, when people like looked at me next to Jamin, they were like, "He seems like a nice guy. I'm gonna go ahead and follow him too," which doesn't help.
So our goal today is, and this is very tongue in cheek, but so this is Kyle Shevlin and this is me, and a joke is that like every time that Kyle and I go out, people who know us from the internet sometimes can't tell us apart. And this is like a common problem in Portland in general. So like everybody in Portland is a bald dude with a beard. Like it doesn't matter. Like old, young, man, woman, all bald with beards. And so anytime that I go out, if I'm sitting in public, like almost without fail, somebody will come up to me and say like, "Hey, are you?" And I'm like, "Definitely not." And then later there's a bald dude with a beard sitting across the restaurant with that person who was looking for me. So this is going to be a really useful tool. I'm going to hold this on my phone so that it's ready, so that when people like, "Hey, like just here, look at this. This is who I am." Right. Why don't you drop a picture of your friend onto this and see whether or not they're me?
Or you can actually scowl at them at how far your face's landmarks are in Euclidean distance from that person. Like, why would you even think I'm this person?
How dare you? But yeah, so this is kind of our final test here. Is we're going to see if our code can manage this. And with that being said, we should probably start building things because we've only got so much time left here.
Yeah.
So what are we doing? What's our goal here? We got.
Well, first thing we're going to want to do is go ahead and get a lovely Gatsby site up and running.
All right, so let's do this. We're going to do Gatsby new. We'll call it Kyle or Jason, and we're going to use the. Are you relying on anything from like a specific starter, or should I just like let it rip with?
Oh man, just let it rip. Unless you've got something that can make it a little bit prettier for me.
Yeah, let's use the default. Default will be good. And that seems bad. Uh-oh. Are we about to have one of these great situations where
debugging?
Oh shit. Okay, so let's go into it. Let's debug live.
Yes.
Still can't find Babel code frame. This is great. I'm super excited about this. What the hell is Babel code frame? Do we depend on that?
I will tell you that I don't know anything what's happening right here, but it does remind me of when I go into teacher class on React Native, and the React Native team releases a brand new release between the last time I built one and another, and everybody comes back to me. I'm like, okay, all right, are you on Windows? I need to find where this problem is.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to just copy one of our existing ones, and I'm going to do that using, let's do Gatsby with Apollo. Oh, I got to actually tell it where to go. That's going to go to, I got to delete things. Do it again, and we'll call it Kyle or Jason. And if we get our wish, what should happen is, that I should be able to clone this, and it should work. So let's
I
go in.
didn't make any sacrifices to the live demo gods, so
Yeah,
you didn't.
this was maybe our mistake. So let's do this, and we're gonna pull this across, and that's gonna be full screen. And I don't need release notes right now. So let's take a look and see if we can run this. And hopefully it just works, because otherwise we might have some challenges here. The hell is running on port 9000? Hold please.
YOLO 9000.
YOLO 9000. Here. This one, you get out of here. And you are back in fashion. Let's run it one more time. Okay, so far so good. All right. And so now we should be able to, on this window, localhost 8000, and this should show us a, yep. So this is an example of using Gatsby with Apollo, which is
Nice.
super fun in and of itself, but not what we're here to do today. So let me close this. And now we've got just the one open. And in here, we can, let's simplify. Let's get rid of that. Yes. And we can get rid of all of this for now. And we will just go to export default. Okay, so we've got that, and then I can also clear that. Oops. Clear this. And clear this. So we don't need any of that anymore. And that gives us a nice clean install where we have our hello world.
Very nice.
Yeah. So what's next, Maestro?
All right. First thing we're going to do, I'm going to send you a link. I'll put it inside the chat here. So those different phases, one, finding the face, right? Or faces. Two, then once you've found a face, you want to identify the landmarks on the face. And then three, we'll be doing the recognition off of the FaceAPI. So while we're chatting, I am going to drop a Dropbox link to us in the chat here. And that's going to be the models. So just for everybody, so you'll want to download those.
Okay.
Then what ends up happening here is those, the way like TensorFlow, machine learning, like this whole kind of idea happens is that you have a model that you've trained. Which is the algorithm that we end up using. I think you can grab the whole zip file somehow.
It was hidden underneath the video overlay thing.
I love Zoom.
Okay, so I have my face model.
Perfect. So you're gonna have all of that. We're gonna throw all those files inside of a folder, and they're called shards. So yeah, we'll get that in a little public folder so we can end up pulling those out when we need them.
Okay, and so this is going to be in.
Let's toss them in public.
Well, public gets overwritten, so let me put them in static.
Oh yeah. So what happens with these is like the shards are broken up portions of the web model. So if you've not done models on the web, they break them up into shards so that there's high parallelization for pulling those files down, which is really nice. And then this is honestly the biggest hit for any kind of machine learning on a website is that it's going to need to like grab the model and pull it down. And those files are usually not trivial at all. I'm not sure how big these are. And I definitely oversent you stuff. but I'd rather have oversent you stuff and rather than undersent it. Perfect.
Yeah. So let's actually take a look at this. So one of these,
Hmm.
357, 8 kilobytes, 77, 4 kilobytes, 4.2 megabytes,
Yeah.
2.2. Wait, we have to download all of this?
So yeah, when you're pulling down the model, you're waiting for those things to come down.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. And that's actually relatively small. Now you
Shit.
can make them smaller, and you can. It's called quantizing the model or quantizing the weights in the model. You can
Okay.
actually lower the accuracy of the floating points to actually and rebalance it. But in this case, I think I oversent you some stuff. Like you probably have more than you need there. We can kind of come back and call them down. I just sent you everything we're definitely going to need, possibly more.
Okay. Okay.
My
Cool.
apologies.
Yeah. Let's, and that's fine. We can see what we actually need to use. But yeah, buyer beware on that. If you're on like a pay by the megabyte model, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, that's one you got to really worry about. But if you go to any of the machine learning, actually, if anybody's looking to really optimize or like make a huge break in performance for now that TensorFlow has gone to the web, if you could find a good way, I mean, they thought of the basics, right? It can be parallelized, it can be broken up. It is different shards, but like, what can you do when you have this giant, like, basically model of data that you need to have there? And then also, there's not really like a CDNs for these or anything like that. So, as you go around to each of these different kinds of cool TensorFlow JS websites, each of them pretty much has like a spinner until you've pulled down the model, or lets you know that it can't do anything until it's gotten that.
Okay.
As long as it's not the singular function of your website, you could probably sneak it into the background. But
Sure. Yeah.
now we're
In our
playing a
case,
weird
it's
dance.
yeah. No, that's good though. That's cool. We can make that work. And we'll see what we actually pull down. We'll take a look at the network tab once we get this up and running.
Sounds good. The next thing we'll want to do is we'll grab Vincent Mueller's Face API JS. So we'll go ahead and yarn add face-api.js. Yep,
Really?
and that should be good. Let's see what version you
I
got
don't think you can
here.
put. What is going on? Is NPM down?
That would be a good timing. Let me go ahead and try to NPM over here from New Orleans.
Do they have like a status page that I'm
Um,
status.npm?
Actually, I mean, it's slow, but I'm pulling it down just fine here.
Maybe it's
It's
yarn.
very slow though.
Let me do npm. So actually, I guess what we should do first is let's do npmjs.com/package/faceapi.js.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And
And
we can pull it
so,
off at GitHub if we need to.
yeah, if we need to. So
Go ahead and put the GitHub link. A lot of really good credit goes to Vincent, who goes by the handle just a dude who hacks.
okay, so let's just try this and see if maybe it was yarn.
Yeah. Ooh.
What is going on? Unauthorized.
Oh man, you've been blacklisted.
How the hell did I get blacklisted? TensorFlow, TFJS.
Wow.
Like for real, what does that even mean?
I honestly have never seen Yarn and NPM fight back so hard.
Yeah.
It's got a silly save tree.
Well, this is the log level, so they have like a silly log level.
Oh, all right.
Um,
Yeah, good call. Okay.
where's my error? So I'm getting an unauthorized error, and that doesn't make any damn sense. Like, did
Oh.
I do something?
So stop running your Tor network.
I don't even have a CDN or anything. Like, what is? Okay, so let's go back here. Let's like go into dev and temp and I guess can I like so let me do what's a good package that doesn't have any dependencies? Like let's do
Oh man,
npm
doesn't it?
install this is one of mine. It should so if anything's gonna work, that should work. Okay, so that worked. And then let's do npm install React.
Tell you what, I'm gonna put in the setup here. I'll put the GitHub link as well if we want to try to go after it straight off of GitHub.
Okay, so how is this a thing?
It's only failing for that one.
Well, let me go back to this test. npm, and then I need FaceAPI.js. And then it gives me the unauthorized for TensorFlow. So what if I just try TensorFlow? And that just straight up fails. So
It's actually the most entertaining error I've seen.
this is an interesting error. Let me try. Yeah. So somebody in the chat is saying I should try the cache verify thing. So let's see, npm cache verify.
I tell you, if that.
And if that doesn't work, I can try the.
You can try blowing away all your node modules and
Yeah.
just doing a fresh yarn.
Although we also had problems with like Babel not installing, so then we're getting into all sorts of weird issues. Okay, so that did a thing. Let's try installing it one more time. Come on, big money.
It's not immediately screaming and running away.
That's nope.
Oh man,
Still
just
doesn't
enough to
like
get
it.
hopeful.
Yeah. For real though, like
Makes
how
you
do
feel
you
any
even...
better? Nobody else on Google is having this problem.
Good. Okay. Well, let's really like nobody else is having this problem.
I'm having a lot of trouble
npm
finding it.
install 401 unauthorized.
Although I'm getting a lot of episodes 401 from several shows. I'm looking for error 401.
npm rc, like that doesn't make any damn sense. All right, and you just installed it and it worked?
Yeah, I ran it fine over here.
Great. Okay. I really don't want to remove my npm rc, but I guess maybe I can move it.
A little rename
to npm rc y. And let's do npm cache verify again. Who knew we were going to debug mystery npm errors today?
No, imagine that's well, we could throw in, oh,
Okay.
wait,
Do a thing. Do the thing that I want you to do.
okay, come on.
Today's not the day.
Whoa.
Wait. Ooh,
All right.
good.
The machines have I for one welcome our new machine overlords.
Come on, don't fail. Don't fail. Don't fail. Oh, this is way better than we got last time.
Oh yeah, this is looking way
Come
better.
on. Good tip on the npmrc thing, Nizumi8. I appreciate that.
It's good stuff.
Okay, not counting any chickens here, but let's... Oh. No, that's fine. That's fine.
Aren't you closer to all the servers? You're over there.
Yeah, you'd think so. Um, I don't know. Who knows? I just like changed my. Hey, things
All
happened.
right.
Um, okay.
Okay.
All right. So let's do this. Let's. So I need to make a note to debug my npmrc. Let's see what the hell I did there. In the meantime, let's build some fun things. What do we
All
do next,
right.
Gant?
Okay, so we're gonna bring in our Face API. So import star as Face API. Now we're gonna run into a little bit from Face API JS. And
Okay.
here's some of the limitations. I'm gonna forewarn you. We might hit some weird stuff. This is a great library. It's done a lot of cool stuff that's gonna help us along the way. But Vincent definitely has implemented and he tests this using jQuery.
Okay.
So I think that deep down inside, it has some encapsulation issues.
Okay.
It might not be like pure functions, like we're things that look pure, and including as we look at the import here, you can tell that it's just brought in on the header of a file, and then just sort of like exists. So as we're bringing this over into our sort of our React based world, um, we might stub our toe, but I mean, I think that's part of the fun.
Hey, I believe in us, Gant. I think we can
Yeah,
do
we
it.
can do this.
All
So
right.
we're going to bring in three models that we have. So when I'd say perhaps when the component did mount, we're going to call Face API.
Okay. So this is now a
Yeah,
class.
yeah. I'm not man enough to bring in those. I'm not like I experienced enough to start going into the crazy hook land and all the other stuff. I want to stay in functional, stateless components with
I
cool hooks, but
Yeah, I would love to do hooks, but I feel like with the signals that my computer is sending me today, that would be a fool's errand. So,
fair.
okay, so we're going to return for now the hello world like we had,
Yeah.
and we're going to make sure that this is still working. And go back to, let's see, we don't need that anymore. We don't need that anymore. We've already got that, and I broke it.
You're
Extends,
gonna.
not from. I remember how JavaScript works. There we go. Wait, no. Are you doing it? There we go.
There we go.
All right.
Perfect. Awesome. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna load in those models.
Okay.
So we can do an async component did mount, and in here we're going to have three different models that we're going to load. Actually, I think we can get away with just two of them, but I'm just going to overcode us right now
Okay.
and come back and test it. So you want to, I don't know if you want to await these or you just want to await the last one, but face API dot, and it's going to be all camel case. Load SSD mobile net V1 model,
Okay.
and maybe I'll link you to that. Oh, did see it? Good.
Yeah, it's got autocomplete because
All
VS
right,
Code
then.
rules.
Thank goodness that you do. I see so many different people who don't have those. And then so now the string that we're going to give this is the path
Oops.
to
Go
the
away.
model folder.
Wait, what's the? Oh man, I always forget this. What's my shortcut to hide this sidebar?
Command B.
Command B.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gant. Okay, so I'm pulling in the model, and I'm pulling that in from where?
I think it's just going to be /face model from static, or do you have to say static?
I think it's just that.
Yeah.
Okay, and which?
It.
That's it.
And
Like,
then,
is there an index in here?
so it knows that to look for those. Now, this is some of that. What you just felt. That's a little bit of the I don't like that part either from this particular library, where it's
What?
kind of like, how come you know? How come you know where this is going to be?
So it just
Right?
like it's like even with these names.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
weird,
And
weird.
so I think we could help out. Now, here's the thing. Vincent's been just like everybody who I've been working with their code. And here's the big piece of this, right? all this cool stuff was unapproachable for the longest time, and now where all these islands have these small little bridges between them, some ideas from React are going to come over and like help, and some ideas from different languages are going to come over and clean these things up. So I think there's lots of great room for pull requests on these, on how these things could be used. But just like today, we're using it recreationally, so it'll be set up. And so we're gonna wait, and we're gonna load another. We're gonna load the face landmark model. Face landmark. Huh. Load face landmark model. Sorry, load face landmark. There you go. And then from here, we're going to, yep. And then I'm going to bring another one in, but I don't think we need this one. We'll kill it if we don't need it. It's going to be load face recognition model. It's good to have this one here because I think there's some play that we can end up doing.
Okay.
Okay.
And I feel like...
Yes. Good call on that. That would be a much better...
Let's get it running, because if it'll run promise.all, then that would be faster, because these will run... Because right now these are running like this, then this, then this.
Wait. Good call. Yeah, that's a much more... and this is sort of like... that would be nice for it to fire off, grabbing each of those separately for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So as long as this loads and doesn't explode or anything like that, it will take some time. So if you want to, you can actually put like, you want to put something in state, like, hi, we're here, and hi, the models have loaded, so we can actually feel the fullness of, or you want to watch it from there.
Yeah, let's try it and see what happens.
Ooh.
So we're getting in, let's make that a little bigger. Can we see, so here's all of our face models loading.
Good.
So that's good. These are definitely huge. All right, so then let's do this instead. So we're going to do an await promise.all, and I'm going to put all of these in here.
Excellent.
And then we want to, oh no, turn that and this. And I think that'll work. Let's try it and see what happens. Here, face recognition, some stuff went wrong. What went wrong? Come on, console. We have promise is not iterable, which means something else went wrong, which means that I'm not going to deal with that right now, because I'd rather build facial recognition than debug promise.
Yes, we've already... combining the excitement of promises with npm RC files.
Yeah. We'll deal with that later. That might also just be like if it's a promise that is like an older version of the promise spec. It could be part of that. It could be that I don't know what I'm doing. There are lots of things that could be going on right now.
I find I promise that all so rarely that I kind of don't get the opportunity to really enjoy it. I think it might have needed to be in an array. Was it an array? I didn't watch.
That is actually probably exactly what it was. You know what?
Gotcha.
Let's do this one more time. Let's do it. I believe in us.
I do.
Okay. One more time. We're going to try this.
Okay.
And we're going to go back here. Make that a little bigger. Do we get any errors when we try this?
Ooh.
No errors. Oh,
No
Gant,
errors.
you know how code works. That's that's extremely fortunate for us because
Nice, good call.
But the nice thing about that is that it's now we're running in sequence here instead of running in parallel. So let's get the video back out of the way and let's keep going.
All right. I'm gonna actually. So we're actually getting towards, believe it or not, towards a critical point where we're really going to enjoy. So the next thing we're going to do, let's stay inside of componented mount,
Okay.
and we'll kind of pull these things out as we need to. So the first thing we're going to do. So we have the models that can do their magic.
Okay.
We're going to grab. I need two um, accessible images right now of one of you and one of Kyle. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull those faces in, chew them up, and get their landmarks.
Okay. So I have one here,
Oh, yeah.
and let's look.
Ah, yes.
Let's just Google Kyle. Let's see. Let's check his SEO while we do it.
Let's see what happens here.
All right. So
Oh.
which this one?
Actually, go down one. This random guy right here, Kyle Shevlin, with the suit on at the bottom left.
Bottom left. Oh, this
No,
guy.
this guy. Yeah, let's bring
Yeah.
that guy. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's good. That's a good one.
This is good. All right. So
I'm
let
actually
me-
interested. I don't know. I don't think the black and white will be a big factor in this, but that's an interesting question. Now we think about it.
I mean,
let's take that.
theoretically speaking, it shouldn't have any impact, right?
Well, here's the cool thing about. So we're going back to CNNs, right? And CNNs in their original setup actually have a set of channels.
Okay.
So that way, for this one, I don't think it's going to matter at all because it's any face, any kind of recognition. So that's why the black and white algorithm works first.
Mm-hmm.
But normally, CNNs by nature can be trained even with the color aspects and the number of channels that go into it.
Okay.
But this one, I think we can toss that out the window. And then I'm not a betting man, but I think that it's not going to matter at all.
Okay.
Actually, I'm a betting man. Let's do this.
Good. Let's do it. All right. So now we need to pull in those photos.
Yeah. So if you have those photos, you can pull them in. Are they just links that you have to them, or you brought them into the actual library?
They are. I just pulled them into the static folder.
Okay, they're in static folder.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So they're right
So
here.
we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna create a const of you, and we're gonna set that to await FaceAPI.fetch image. Yep. And then we're going to give it the path, which is going to be like, yeah, you got it. Perfect.
Okay, and then we want to do Kyle,
Yep.
and that was Kyle Shevlin. Okay.
All right. Now we're going to get your facial landmarks, which will be called descriptors. And so what we're going to do is with your face, we're going to have a new const. We're going to be calling it JSON descriptor, maybe.
Okay.
And
the performance part of my brain is like, fix this.
Oh, I know that. I know. Trust me. I think that, I'm really happy that we're working on this because I think there's going to be another part of this that to me says, like maybe we'll get this working, and then when we go to the performance, we'll find out where all the dragons are, because I think there are some in here, but it's okay. We could definitely get it. It's what did they call it? And the inmates are running the asylum. They called it the dancing bear. It just matters that this bear dances, right? Not how good it dances, just that it dances right now.
Perfect.
So your face descriptor, we're going to await a FaceAPI dot all faces SSD bottlenet v1.
Oh, all faces.
Yeah, did it give it to you?
I don't know. I like jumped the gun there.
All faces
mobile net.
Mobile net.
And
then we're going to give it Jason. And that's going to grab all the descriptors. We're going to do the same thing to Kyle.
Okay.
Okay. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to run a distance on that. So you're going to say const distance equals FaceAPI.round. And then inside of here, you open parentheses, You probably want to go to a new line because this is going to be long. So here's the magic, right? Remember I told you have to actually do the Euclidean distance. You don't have to worry about it. It's just FaceAPI.Euclidean distance. All right, now the first parameter we're going to do here is going to be JSON descriptor, but 0, because here's the cool thing about that SSD. It actually grabs all the faces that are in that image. And we're hoping it grabs yours, and you're the only one, so you're going to be the first index.
Okay.
And then you have to say dot descriptor, though, on the JSON descriptor, so inside the parentheses, sorry.
Like here?
Oh, on the other side of the 0. Yes.
Gotcha.
And the second parameter to Euclidean distance is going to be Kyle's descriptor.
So same thing.
Yes, exactly the same thing. Yep. Now I think, can we go back to it? Oh, you don't need to do Euclidean distance for each of them. You just want to get it. Actually, Euclidean distance takes 2 parameters: the first descriptor and the second descriptor.
Gotcha.
Yeah, sorry. Perfect.
Okay,
and so it's going to round it up together. Yeah, looking good. And then you can get rid of that comma. All right. Now this is going to tell you how far apart your faces are. So I guess we can like stick this in state or alert it or console.log it.
Yeah, let's just log it for
this
now.
is going to tell us exactly if we even can if we could even hope.
See the
this will work.
Yeah, the distance between Kyle and I. Let's run it again and let's see if did I get it working?
Looks good.
It doesn't.
All right, yay. It's not finding those images.
It's not finding those images. So what does that mean? That means
it's
only not finding mine though. So did I typo it?
Ah,
Jason.
You know,
did I
your
spell
last
my
name
own
is very
name?
hard to spell.
I straight up spelled my own name wrong. Good.
Welcome to the rest of the world, Jason Lepengensen.
Okay, so we're loading things, and what happened? 0.65.
All right.
I will
tell you from my experience, like a person can usually not go, not really. It really is hard for you to contort your face to go more than 0.6 away from your own face. You are 0.05 out of the threshold of us being able to identify the difference between the two of you.
So what you're saying is that we actually are almost the same person.
It's very close. It's very the facial features. You could change all the hair and everything else you want, but your actual facial features are 0.05 from those 2 photos anyway.
Good.
Oh, actually, it's 0.65, but I dare say. So here's the greatness of where we're at, and this sort of like opens it up on what we want to do. You kind of did it. It's kind of done. Now, what we can choose here is we can choose to go a lot of different directions.
Okay.
Right. One direction could be like drag an image into here, and when you let go of it, or give us a path to an image, even, and when we get it, we'll tell you, is it, Kyle, or is it Jason, or is it neither? And the way that would work is we just do how far away the faces are. If it's less than 0.6 away from you, we'll say it's you. If it's less than 0.6 away from Kyle, we'll say it's Kyle. And if it's greater than that for both of them, we'll say it's neither. And that could be like you could even have it like light up, like, left side, right side, and it'll like tell you which one it is. We can get really kind of designy and cutesy with it. But like that's the hard part. We lifted all the machine learning headache that we had to. Now it's just, what do we want to play with?
So
lots of cool tools that are still inside of FaceAPI, like putting boxes around faces. Might even start getting way out of my comfort zone of what I know about it. And there's also, just as a heads up, there's another library, and that's why I brought in that third one. There's one that you can almost like bring in a face, and it can like try to average like your faces. Like you can have multiple pictures of your face, and it can sort of like get a better descriptor rather than from one photo that's a straight on photo. There's other cool things like that, but I'd rather go in a more fun direction with this.
Yeah,
where we can kind of do some silliness, and all the machine learning codes kind of like figured out. And I know it sounds really simple and easy. That took me a long time to figure out, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, had you not been telling me what to do, I would have had literally no idea what was going on. So I appreciate
Yeah.
you doing that work there. So
Now, I could tell you one other thing, just as a quick 2 cents. I think that if you wanted to store those descriptors, so you didn't actually have to do, now the performance in you is saying, why do I have to go grab that image and then create the measurements and then lose those 128 floating point numbers? You can almost like just store those, and then you could just have it choose which one of you it is. But ultimately, I know we have that Twitter image where we can say like, who's in this photo. It could say both of you are in the photo or neither of you are in the photo. But
and will
I
it?
leave this to you.
Yeah. So I guess maybe what we want to do is figure out. Let's start by doing something where we can like drag an image in. Because I think you had that built already, right? Like where we could.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's.
I did a lot of the research towards a Nicolas Cage or not indicator. Which, by the way, you had a big hand in making happen. For anybody listening, it was at Chain React 2018. I was telling Jason, I was like, I have a model I've trained that can 80% tell whether or not a person is or is not Nicolas Cage. Truth be told, I went back after that and I was like, I got to make this now. He's kind of announced it on Twitter. I went back. I found that it was really wrong. It just said every image I gave it almost all the time was not Nick Cage. And that's how it got 80% right, because I just had so many images that weren't Nick Cage. So I had to get back to my grassroots and train a real model from scratch.
Okay.
Yeah, I've learned a lot doing all this stuff. So if we want to do some dragging and dropping, then we're going to need to bring in another library. We're going to need to bring in probably React Dropzone.
Okay. Yeah. So what I'm doing real quick just to get us like kind of geared up here is I'm just putting in some really light state that is going to tell us whether or not we're loading.
Nice.
And so we can do, let's see, this state loading. If so, we're going to do, it's just going to tell us we're loading. And if not, it's going to say the distance is this state distance. And this is just so that we can make sure that I actually remember how React works. And it would appear that I don't. So, let me reload. It's loading.
Loading.
The distance. Okay.
All right.
All right. So we have a very basic app, and now I'm going to tempt fate, and I'm going to add npm I React Dropzone. You said?
Yes.
React dash Dropzone.
I believe that is correct. React dash Dropzone.
Okay. Let's verify so that I don't actually install something horrible here.
Evil. So that is correct.
React Dropzone on npm.
Let me go ahead and toss this link in there.
Oh wait, this says React Dropzone component.
I tossed it in the chat if you want the GitHub, but that is correct.
Copy link address. Let's go over here.
And this isn't such a bad idea. They have some pretty good examples in here.
Okay, so it is React Dropzone. So I'm going to get that installing in the background and hope that it actually installs in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And while we do that, you can tell us a little bit about what it does.
Yeah, so here's one of the things I've found really odd here is that I tried to figure out like how to drag and drop an image, and when you search for that stuff, I mean, there's all these blog articles and headache and everything like that. You really have to, as I've learned, I could have saved a lot of time if I just said React drag and drop, right? Like I just went straight to where it's going to end up. And this is a wonderfully maintained and set up library. And you can drag a file over, or you can click it, it'll open up and give you the ability to choose an image. And so with the advantage we would get here is if you drag an image in, we get an event when you drop the image. We can even force it so it has to be PNGs and JPGs, and they have a lot of good examples. I think this is the website. Yeah, so if you scroll down, they have really cool examples down here. So there's an example of like basic drag and drop, or you
Okay.
could click to
And
upload.
so I think I just didn't I
There you
just
go.
download. Here, we're gonna use the Gatsby.
Gatspot. Yep. And that says you've got a
Okay.
Gatspot PNG, and that's the size of it. So, and then you have access to it. On the on drop method, it has files, or it has like files and what got rejected. So if you wanted to
Cool.
drag an image that's for that one, it has to be PNG only. If you had dragged an image up there on that example that was a JPG, it would have actually said rejected one. And then also you could drag multiple files. So this is a pretty good library.
Cool. Very
I
cool.
think there's only like two really good React libraries, and this one I think wins by far.
Yeah. All
And you
right.
could style
And let's see if it downloaded. I have
it. Oh,
success.
nice.
Great. So now that we've got a successful React Dropzone, we can move on with our lives here.
That's right. So we'll import Dropzone from React Dropzone up at the top, and then we'll have a Dropzone component. Oh, feels nice to be back in React world.
Okay, so we've got React Dropzone. And
So I have to ask, the React world is all about the capitalized component names.
it's to signify that it is in fact a component. I actually really like that because it makes it much clearer than like if React components are all capitalized, then you don't have to wonder if this is a custom element or something like that.
Sounds good to me. Okay. So here we can just go ahead and put a drop zone component, and yeah, you put basically what's inside there is set up. So drop zone,
And this is going to.
and what happens is
I guess I should have read
here's
how
some
this works.
suggestions on some things we can add. So you could say accept as a parameter on there, and you see it over there on the left side. You actually already have it visible. Accept .jpegs and .pngs.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a dot. I'm gonna do an accept, and it will accept. Can I just say like images?
I don't think they have that. I think you could say image slash JPG and image slash. So like the meta headers that come out of that slash JPEG and then comma image slash PNG.
Okay.
Yep. And I don't think it has a function as the internal part here.
It looks like it's a render prop.
Oh, you can. Yeah. Okay.
Wait,
yeah, we
did
can do
I
it this way.
did I do? How did you do it?
There is a parameter you can set on it, which is like the
The on drop.
and you can bind it. Yeah.
Okay. I kind of like this.
Yeah. If you want to do it straight in there,
Like,
I'd say I'm flexible, but I've taken exactly 2 yoga classes in my life, so anyway.
So this is gonna, or like, is the on drop though? Is that actually? I don't think the on drop is actually part of the. I don't. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is not correct.
So if you want to, yeah, we'll just say on drop.
And
And then we'll
drop,
give it our function.
and the function is.
Whatever we want to, what you want to call it.
Yeah, what does it get as an argument to on drop?
On drop, you got like I think
Accepted,
it's one of the first
rejected.
ones. Yeah, accepted, rejected.
Okay. Accepted, rejected, and we can do things with it.
Yay!
The things we want to do are.
Do you want to start off with like a little window.alert in there, make sure we're all good, and then you can get rid of that internal function.
Let's log it.
Ooh, look at you!
just because I want to see the object, and I feel like a window.alert is going to let me down.
Object.
Yeah. Get out of here. Then when I do
So I
that,
think, let me look at it real quick. I think that inside of a drop zone is what you put like instructions or something. Like you put a paragraph tag or an image or anything. There we go. So you could say like, yep.
you think might be Kyle Shevlin or Jason.
Nice.
Okay, so we've got that. And back over here, if we reload.
Yep. Oh, the fun of reloading those models. I kind of wish there, I mean, if you figure out how to cache that well enough, please share it with me.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to kind of look at that and decide what we want to do. But
Yeah.
this seems good for now. And then if I take one of those images,
You grab your bot.
Yeah, let's take the bot. The bot will be a good one. Let's take our bot, drop it in there.
All right,
and
it went in, and then you got the file came through. You see that right there?
Got the
We
file.
can do whatever we want.
Okay,
Yeah.
and now this file is like, how do we get this into the machine learning stuff?
Okay, so once we have the file, it'll be in the accepted array as index 0.
Okay, so the file will be in the accepted array as 0.
Yeah, so it'll be the first file that kind of came in. If they dragged over multiple files, then that's what we do.
Okay.
Now, once we have the file, we want to. We're going to we have access to it, and it'll be, I think, e.target.result.
Hold on, what?
Okay, wait. Okay, so I'm sorry, that's actually incorrect. So we have the file. It's actually, here's where I start saying we have a data URL.
And is that on the file, like file.data URL?
Yeah, so like we have the way this
that?
kind of comes in here, we have a bunch of bytes for that file on our client side, right? And what we see how he's doing a file reader right there, that's actually really good. So what we're going to end up needing to do is so just to sit back for a second and talk this through, because it does make it a little bit more complicated for a second, is that we're still all client side, right? So we don't if we were server side, it would be super easy because you would drag the file in, it would upload it, and that's the URL we would use for our Face API to grab, right? And then we'd just use that URL. So as long as we were hitting a server, we'd be A-okay. But what we need to do is we're doing this all on the client side. So when you grab it and you drag it in there, we have a file that's basically just like the bytes of it that's set up, and it has access to it on your client side. And we need to turn that into a file string, which is like read binary as string, like he's doing right here.
Okay.
And then that way we'll have a string that we can work with. So I see he's got a reader, which is a new file reader. We'll have to do that. And I know that the deep inside, you're thinking every time you drag a file here, you're creating a brand new file reader instead of reusing one. We'll come back to all that. I know. I can hear the performance angst.
It's okay. I'll shove it down.
Right.
Reader onload, and we're going to take the file as binary string equals the reader dot result, and then down here we've got reader on abort. What was it? Just console logging.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you can get rid of on board and on error. We'll just kind of be quite optimistic for now, and then just go to the reader read as binary.
Okay.
I think there's reader read as
Binary
data
string
URL as well.
file. Okay.
Okay.
So we have
So
our.
the way this is happening is we're setting up the event on the reader that the onload function is going to access here and say file as binary string, which is going to be the reader result. And then we're calling for it to go ahead and read the file. And so our set state would happen inside the onload, which would be something that happens. So once we actually have the file, we would set state saying like, hey, we have a new face. We need to go ahead and run this face against our other dynamics.
Okay, so I'm doing. Let's see, this set state,
Yeah.
and we want to set the file as. What was it? File as binary string. Why are you helping so much? File as binary string.
Yeah. And I've done it before a different way. I'm actually not a very well versed in file reader, but if this fails, I might go with a different methodology for the onload on that with a read as data URL. But let's give this a go and see if everything goes splendidly. Maybe I've been doing it the
Cool.
old-fashioned way
Let's
because
go.
that documentation you
Whoops.
have right there looks better than what I do.
Yeah, let's. Okay, so we're going to go file is null.
Mm-hmm.
And once we get a file, so component will update, right? Then we want to do
Yeah,
a
so
thing
once
with
we
it.
do the set state, we'll get that again. So maybe you want to spit out to the screen. We can actually see that for a second.
How do we want to do that?
To show the graphic.
Well, it's going to have to be the data URL, isn't it? Because otherwise, that's going to
Yeah,
be just.
you're right. You're right. We're gonna need to do the data URL. So let's switch this back. Sorry about that. So you have the file reader, and then you're gonna do read as data URL.
Read as data URL.
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah. Oh no, sorry. That is correct camel casing. That is not. Yes, that.
Okay.
Then that is incorrect camel casing, which is what it really is.
File as. Let's keep it consistent. And then down here, we'll be able to do, let's see, this state. Come on. File. And image source equals this state file. And alt is uploaded image because we care about accessibility.
Very nice.
All right.
All right, let's see how much we broke.
Let's see what we can do. Be so cool if this just works. Like,
That'd make me happy. This is like that weird part of like coming between, like what is already in browsers and what's not.
holy
Yeah!
shit! Look at that.
All right.
One try. One take, Dave. That's what we got going right now.
So that's that URL that you're using there for the source there is basically we can use fetch image in just like a third, like basically another fetch image. So when you drag that in there, right? We could do basically, so we're doing all this right here, all this grabby,
Right.
on component did mount.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to make you cringe again in optimization needs. I'm gonna say all the grabbing that we're doing, and I promise you, we'll come back and do an optimization if we didn't lose everybody. Time to do optimization. Boop, everybody's gone. Let's do like a check face function, and let's kind of move all that stuff into the check face.
Check face.
Face off.
Yeah. All
So let's
right.
copy the code that you did earlier from that original distance formula calculation. We'll grab you, everything from line 20 down. Oh, sounds like I'm getting mail, so that'll work out well.
Okay. So is this something that's like really going to hurt my feelings here? Because what I'm gathering here is that you're about to have me load these two images and also get the file that was uploaded and then run the distance twice, one for Kyle, one for me. Is that what I'm?
Yes, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
And like I said, I think we can definitely optimize that. Now, your intuition might have been like, why didn't we just store Jason and Kyle distance? I think that that's where we're going to run into some weird issues with the Face API a little bit here and
Mm-hmm.
there. Great opportunity for pull requests, and it might work fine, and I might just be a little shell shocked from some of the stuff I've done. So, yeah.
File. We'll just bail early if we don't have a file, and if we do have a
Big call.
file, then we can drop that in there.
So it won't be this state file there. We'll have to grab the descriptor off that file. So you'll have to do the same process where you basically.
Oh,
So we'll have const for Jason, Kyle, and new person, and then or so upload, and then you'll also have upload descriptor as well. No, you're gonna have to run the face grab as well
oh
through the
my
fetch.
God. Oh my God. Okay,
Yeah,
now that's
yeah.
that's actually
It's if you like
that
dry
makes a lot
code.
of sense.
Yeah, so the
I don't.
descriptors, the landmarks.
This is exactly what I like to do is just repeat myself over and over and over again.
Fair
Everything.
enough is that the optimization you hand us off to, the person can only go up.
Oh, this is great. This is gonna be super fun.
Told you,
I'm really
love that
excited
bear
about this.
dances, right?
And what's
So if you upload descriptor, you want to grab the first face. So we're going to do the same thing, 0, and then say dot descriptor on it, because the descriptors are going to be an array of landmarks.
That's right. That's right. And then in here, we're going to change
Now the
this out
magic happens.
to have
So
what?
what
No,
we're going to worry about is a threshold, and like I said, 0.6 is a great threshold, right?
okay.
Um, yeah, it's good
And
if you
so
want to
we
do this.
want the Jason distance is greater than 0.6.
Well, if it's less than, then is Jason is true. So
Got it.
yeah, and
And
then
same for Kyle.
yeah. And the way we've done this
Uh,
all is we've been doing it based off of one face per photo. So
mhm.
that photo that we were going to use, you'll have to like clip one face out at a time to use, unless we want to get into using the multiple faces. But yeah,
Yeah. So how do we
let's
let's
do one
one
face and we'll come back to it.
one bridge at a time. Let's okay. So let's do here. I got to update this, and we're going to say is Jason and is Kyle, and we're gonna stop updating this distance. So we don't need to do this in the first in the did mount. We can just skip this altogether. Gant, your mic just cut. Is that me or you?
No, that was my fault.
Okay.
I muted myself for the dogs, and I've been useless ever since. I would comment it out of the componented mount, and we'll come back
Okay. So
and optimize it.
let's do that. Things have broken because I didn't make check face async.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And then what we are going to do is and then we
I don't think you have
also-
to call oh yeah, you do have to call it. So can you go back to where you called check face? So
after
you're calling
we.
it after set state, but set state's going to be um, async. So you'll if you want it to fire after you've updated set state,
Would it make
you're
sense to
going to need
just
to
pass
pass it as the
this?
second parameter.
Why don't we just pass this shit right here and not worry about storing the file in state? We don't, because we don't need it, right?
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
let's just do that. That's gonna make,
It's going to make you happier.
yeah, and it also eliminates
Yes.
some indirection. It's, now we
Good call.
have. You know what's really cool about? No, we're not gonna do that. I was gonna say we could pull this out of the class entirely, but I'm not gonna do that. Not today. So we've got checkface. Checkface runs with this upon an onload. And upon that onload, we can do a check that says, let's also add just a little bit of styling on
Oh,
this to make it not huge.
one gotcha. If you're not calling set state at all,
Well,
um,
I am calling set state at the end of checkface.
oh, good. Yes, that's correct. Good, good.
So we're going to make this with, let's just call it 300 pixels, and we'll do, I think height should automatically set itself. So let's do that, and then we're also going to do, I guess we can do it like this. We'll do like H2, and then this is,
Since we have three options,
this feels dirty, but
yeah.
yeah, I don't like this. This is gross. I want to do better. So instead, what can we do? We're gonna do a.
You know what? I say go with the dirty for a second here. Let's see the result, and then let's kind of sit back for a second and think of what the ideal feeling would be or what we want.
I hate this. I hate this so much.
No.
Okay. This is like the most
Oh, this is
narcissistic
great.
thing that I've done.
Let's see.
Oh wait, it needs to be in state.
Oh yes, yes, yes. Oh,
All right, let's try that again. So we're gonna load.
oh, moments of truth are here. It can't be any worse than NPM.
Come on.
Oh, we don't have. Do we have anything saying when it's done now?
No.
Okay.
So we're. Or wait, no, yeah, we do. But
Do we?
didn't.
Okay.
I deleted the part that was
Gonna-
turning off the loading. So that's the problem. So we're gonna take this, we're gonna put it up here. Once we are loaded, we're all good.
Yeah.
Okay. And
I think that's the funniest part is like how long do we stare at it?
shit. Somebody just made a really good comment in the chat. We forgot that we're using this this file to show the uploaded image.
Ah, yes.
So we
indeed.
do need to add that, but fortunately, we can just add it here.
Okay.
And that should solve, I think, I hope. Okay, so we're off to a good start so far. Let's see how our Bomberman does, or Gatsby.
Oh man, I love that game.
Nothing broke. Nothing worked. It broke
Yeah.
because
so here.
cannot read property descriptor of undefined.
Aha.
And
So that seems like one of the Face API calls came back angry.
let's try the one that did work before. And did that?
Oh, okay. So here's what happens. There's no face detected at all. So the first thing that's happening
Oh,
here,
so I need a real
it
face.
can't put the landmarks on there. Yeah, this is one of those situations. So let's just go grab. You can grab me. You can just go to gantlaborde.com.
Let's check your SEO.
Yeah,
Oh, perfect.
that's me.
Look
That's a
at the
lot of me.
look at this photo. This is a great photo.
Yeah.
Save it to the downloads. Call it Gant. And let's go back over here
Weird photos of me on the internet now.
and let's upload this.
All right. All
Okay.
right. That happened.
No one of
And-
consequence. And
So there we
that's-
go. That's the
that
first
was-
one. It may or may not be working. Let's see.
All right, so let's see what my SEO looks like. Here's a picture of me with hair.
Nice, nice.
Let's try a photo that is not. Do I have any of me with? Actually, this will be interesting. Let's try one when I do have hair,
Okay.
and
yeah,
I'm,
let's
and
do
I'm
it.
making a face. So let's
Perfect.
take this. Okay, and I'm gonna come in over here.
Moment of truth.
I'm gonna upload this. Oh,
Oh, yeah!
Look at that. That's cool. All right.
Yeah,
Let's
all right.
let's get one of Kyle. And here's an older one of him.
That's good. Yeah, he looks very happy. That's a good one. Kyle happy.
And then
right.
let's try it.
Bam!
Oh, this is cool. This is very
we did
cool.
it.
All right, so who's somebody that looks like us?
You look like each other.
Hold on, there's somebody there are people who look just like us.
More people from
Bald
Portland.
dude with beard. All right, here's a bald dude with a beard.
All right, let's see. This is somebody who walked up to you while you were just having a beer in Portland, and they said, "Hey, am I waiting to meet you?" And wait,
Oh wait, bald dude with a beard didn't download right. Oh, it's WebP. Thanks for helping, Google. Are you? That's a JPEG.
beardstyle.net.
So this is.
There you go.
Excellent. This is
There
exciting.
we go. We did it.
This is pretty cool.
High five, man. Easy, easy. It looks very professional already.
Yeah, I mean this is clearly a well-designed, thoroughly considered.
I'm just happy that they can tell the difference between the two of you. And if you don't publish this, we can't like pull up the website and like, oh, here's a really cool thing that goes with this particular. So I don't know if people are familiar with how this actually is set up, but if you were to load this on mobile, like at least on the iPhone, if I tapped inside that box, it would give me the option to take a photo. So I could be next to you, take a photo of you with my phone. It would take that, and then basically without having to hit the internet anymore after I've downloaded the giant model files, of course.
Is that a feature of React Dropzone?
Now we're in a world where I don't know, but it's pretty
Okay.
nice. So this is all ready to go, and looks like you've already used a mobile friendly CSS here.
Yeah. This is about as mobile friendly as you can be.
So yeah, I would say that you could probably try optimizing some of this stuff. And actually, the Vincent's got some even better features. So like this is really good. It's already able to indicate the difference between y'all two, which I think is primo. But if you want to average your 128 descriptors, I think he's got some libraries, and I think I brought in the facial recognition model for that as well. There's a lot of documentation, and it's really cool because we didn't have to write any math, or for those across the pond, we didn't use any maths at all.
Okay. Yeah. No. This is super cool. And we just got from the chat that the iOS thing should be the native file input, allowing us to take that photo. So it's not actually React Dropzone. It's React Dropzone using the platform. Hashtag use the platform. And so Gant, this is awesome, man. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little impressed that this worked. I did not have high hopes that we were going to build a facial recognition website inside of 2 hours. So.
Yeah, it's so cool. I mean, so here's all the fun stuff that's been happening. I have a Twitter account that I just recently created, because here's the thing: if you try to actually learn all this stuff, so it's fun machine learning. And here's the thing: I myself
Nope.
can't. Oh, that's right. It's too long. Fun machine learn on Twitter, because you can't have it that long. So I created this account because like I honestly can't get by with just all the math that you have to learn. I need fun and interesting things, and one is every time I find something, I tweet it on here. So that's a great blank photo there. Good job. I don't know why it's not loading, but let's scroll down. So here's something really cool. This is done in a website, and it's called a
shit.
GAN, which is almost my name. It's generative adversarial networks. So GANs are this new thing that we've been working with that allows the machines to start making like realistic things. So here they're adding a door to a building, and this is brand new stuff. As a matter of fact, the facial recognition that we're doing now, SSD came out in 2016, November 2016. So it's like ridiculous how, like, if you want to work with cool stuff and see like a basically like a revolution right now, this is what we're looking at. So the GAN stuff is cool. I also have some pretty fun stuff in there. Amazon open sourced their library. This is something I called the racist uncle. Apparently can tell you're a terrorist by looking at you.
So phrenology.
Yes, it's
Jesus
exactly.
Christ.
It's and I don't think that that's real at all, but that's what this company is claiming.
That's horrible.
Yeah, here's Quick Draw, which is something Google did. I don't know if you've ever played with Quick Draw, but it's basically a computer kicking your ass in Pictionary. This gentleman went ahead and turned it on the webcam where he can draw in the air.
Oh, cool.
And so he can actually and open source the entire system. And a lot of people are giving away all this stuff. I mean, there's just, if you want to learn, the technology is there. It's just very rote and boring. So we need more YOLO 9000s in our world.
Yeah, this is super cool. I mean, and so I guess the one thing that we didn't talk about at all, which is here comes the curveball. What are the ethical implications of this? Like being able to just like pull facial recognition this easily.
Really big. And here's my 2 cents on it. The people who have control over it and the people who are putting money into it are Fortune 500s. So you are getting access to what academics are allowing. And as we kind of all know, academia is suffering from funding and having a lot of trouble. We're way behind. I'm really happy to see Amazon open sourcing their stuff. Of course, it uses their platform, and of course it makes sense. But they're giving away that technology. MIT, Stanford, they've been giving away lessons and education on this stuff for a while. So I'm really happy to see a lot of that stuff kind of come more mainstream. But the big companies with the really awesome algorithms, we're not going to see that stuff. We're not going to learn about that stuff unless it came out of academia. So my 2 cents is like, image recognition feels like Big Brother, but just know it's been around for a while and we haven't had it. It's been other people have had it. And I think that it's kind of just like the internet needs to be free and open and kind of like iterated amongst scientists and checked, like we've kind of done with cryptography, like we've kind of done with technology as a whole. I think it'd be really cool for us all to like get together and build facial recognition together and know this stuff is out there. That when you look into a camera in an hour and a half, any Joe Schmo, we could start to do some kind of basic recognition, and they're still doing cool stuff. You gotta drag it up.
Oh yeah. I want that to be different.
Yeah, we could move it inside there. But yeah.
But no, this is super cool. Like I think it's and you're right. Like it is good that it's being democratized. It's also terrifying that it's being democratized because like, you know, if I can build this fast, Who knows what evil will be done with it? But I guess the best thing we can do is learn how it works so that we
We're
can.
going to need to be smart. In the next 10 years, you're not going to be. So we were looking at those GANs,
Yeah,
and we could tell that they weren't real. In the
right.
next 10 years, you could possibly have a conversation, see a photo, or watch something happen that is, I don't know if you're familiar with deep fakes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This stuff
but
is wild.
yeah, and a lot of Nicolas Cage in there. I don't know why he's the poster boy for this stuff. But yeah, they added Nick Cage to that. They also added Harrison Ford back into Star Wars as a younger kid.
Yes, that's actually the one that I saw. There was that one, and there was one where they like made it was like they made Obama give a speech that he'd never given,
Yes, yeah,
and that was
that's
also
the
terrifying.
newest stuff. Yeah, so so deepfakes used to require a lot of interaction. They've gotten so good now, you actually don't need to sit there and sit on top of it anymore. Um, you can have it happen in near real time. So yeah, look, there's Harrison Ford as a kid. Super
Yeah,
cool. He calls them derp fakes.
which is
Love it.
kind of funny. Um, and I'm muting the audio here because I don't want to accidentally get like
Yeah,
I don't
blast.
want to get it blasted on, or YouTube will take down any audio that it finds to be copyrighted, and they
Good
like mute
call.
the whole video. So I want to I want to make sure that we can see this and not like lose the audio on the whole video.
Smart move. But yeah, so there's a young Harrison Ford being placed
Wild.
back into the movie. That's actually how they added. I don't know if you've seen the new Star Wars. They have that older gentleman who was in the original Star Wars
Yeah,
movies.
what was his name? General
Yeah,
Admiral Tarkinen or something.
I'm gonna go with you on that one.
I'm think I'm making that up. Sorry, Star
But
Wars fans.
they deep faked him. That's how they
Yeah,
got him in there.
I saw that. It was wild and slightly unsettling. But
Yeah.
but yeah, it's super cool. I mean, so anyways, yeah, I think this is really really powerful stuff. It has a lot of very exciting and also very terrifying uses, and it's why Nick Cage. But yeah, I think it's. I'm super excited about this. Like, I'm really glad that we took the time to do this because I guarantee you, I never would have sat down on my own and said, "Hey, you know what I'm going to learn today is how to do this facial recognition stuff." So I think a project for me is going to be to clean this up a little bit and put it on the web so that people can play and so that I can. What I really want to do is for those of you who don't know Sarah Vieira, she has this. Or what's her for the win? I think she has this whole concept of like bringing back the stupid internet, like back in the day when you would just
I
build
know what
like
website you're talking about. Yes.
yeah, and she just builds things for fun, right? And so this is a really good thing to contribute back. What?
She actually misspelled sandbox the other day and she made sadbox.
Yeah, yeah,
It
right.
was
Like
funny.
she just does. She's very good at doing things that are like the dumb internet. And I like she made one that was a drum kit online, but like everybody plays the same drum kit and hears the output. So like everyone who's on that drum kit is like it's just chaos, right? But it's really fun because it's a good I don't know this is a good one. So I would highly recommend giving her a follow and in an homage to her work on the dumb internet, I'm gonna make sure that I actually publish this site so that we've got a little like piece of the dumb internet out there.
Good. And I think that that's really kind of key here is that that makes me very happy too because you know the snobbery the sort of like I actually did a post to excite people. I'm gonna send it to you about how cool machine learning really is, and I received ton. It's called machine learning zero to hero. Do you want to try to find it real
Yeah,
quick?
let me do that. I'm posting
Yeah.
Sarah's Twitter handle in the chat.
Sweet.
Machine learning
Zero to hero.
zero to hero.
Yeah, that should be.
This one.
No, it's the second
This one.
one. Look at that. Who's
Gotta
that?
gotta
Came
work
in
on
here.
your SEO there, bro.
I mean, dude, this post on it's. I can't do any better than this one. It's got the most claps that anything I've ever done. But what's really funny about this one is it. A lot of people got really excited about it. People were inventive and happy. And down there in the comments, actually, one person got really kind of mean. They were just like, "Hey, this is a terrible thing because it makes people think that you need to like." All right, here we go. There it is. I think. Yeah. So this person gets really mean, and it kind of goes deep into this. But like, this is what you run into a lot of. This person says basically you need a strong mathematical knowledge. You need to. I mean, here's the thing. I was a D student in math. I did make it out with a computer science degree, but by the skin of my teeth. And here's the thing: the math in machine learning is trivial math. It's division, multiplication, and small bits of just understanding arrays of data. That's it. And I'm kicking butt on all the, I've got the certification for machine learning from Coursera and all that stuff. It doesn't require a math degree. People like this are trying to send you away and kind of get you upset. And I think to kick them back in the teeth, you need to publish this website. You need to say, hey, it's approachable, it's easy, it's fun, it's something we should be working with, and we can play around with this kind of stuff without going and getting a PhD at a university.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. I hadn't really thought of like people who do machine learning as like the man, but I gotta stick it to the man.
Yeah, that's it. That's the Portland.
All right, man. I think we have we've wandered away from doing a thing, and now we're just bullshitting. So let's wrap this up. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. So where should people go to find you? We want people to go to Twitter, and we already showed this, but let's go follow poor Gant and his lost race to.
As I was trying to race to the 3K, I did not. But yeah, Twitter is great. I have gantlaborde.com, which has a lot of the speaking engagements that I'm at all the time. It's also where I met you, and I meet a lot of the fellow speakers. So yeah, this is a fun. Don't judge me on the website.
I'm not judging you because that is outstanding.
Yes, indeed. So you can check me out there. I have everything. I mean, then I sign up for all the stuff. I have notices, I have videos, I have future speaking engagements, and then also more icons of me doing weird things in cartoon form.
How do we find those? That seems like the thing that we really
on the left
want to
side,
look
Gant Vitars.
Oh my god.
Yeah, a collection of weird stuff.
This is. I don't even know. Yeah. So I'll leave that to the imagination of the user. Cool. Well, Gant, thanks so much for coming on today. I had a lot of fun, and hopefully we will be seeing this live on the internet soon, so that people can finally tell whether they're talking to me or Kyle Shevlin.
Very cool.
Oh, I guess we should probably also say like follow Kyle Shevlin.
Yes. Even though he's got like tons of followers and he's doing really well.
Yeah. No.
Wait, is this you?
This is. Yeah. So yeah, go follow Kyle. He's great. He's also, I believe, he's still on the job hunt. So if you're looking for a great JavaScript dev, you should hire Kyle. All right, everybody. I'm gonna stop talking now. So thanks so much for listening, and this will be posted on YouTube in a little while. Bye.